Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Vinyl Den, your channel for record collecting by record collectors. My name is Nick.
I'm Ian.
This week we're going to talk about some bands that we would love to see reunite. If you haven't done so yet, make sure you click on that link down below. Go check out the Vinyl Den Facebook group. Just a cool place to continue the music conversation. There's also a couple other links down there. There's one for the Vinyl Den merch page where we get Vinyl Den t-shirts and sweatshirts on there. There's a link for the Vinyl Den Spotify and Apple Music playlists where every week we're just compiling music we're talking about here on the channel, put it together on a nice playlist for everyone to enjoy. There's also a link for the Vinyl Den Patreon page. If you want to support the show, it's always greatly appreciated. You can support the show for as little as $1 a month. Of course, if you enjoyed the episode, make sure you give us the old thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button down below. And make sure you hit that notification bell so you're notified every time we release new episodes. So I guess when I think about bands reuniting, mainly I guess I think about bands that could possibly reunite. Of course, I'd love to see Nirvana reunite. Unfortunately,
Queen.
Or Queen, yes, of course. But those bands unfortunately can't because some of the members are no longer with us. So today we're going to talk about bands that, of course, have the possibility to reunite, or at least a majority of the band can reunite. But for one reason or another, haven't and probably won't.
Right.
So, of course, as a big Pink Floyd fan, they're going to be number one on my list. I would love to see what's left of Pink Floyd reunite. Of course, we have Nick Mason and David Gilmour, who maybe one day will kind of do something Pink Floyd moving forward, but I would really love to see them reunite with Roger Waters.
I agree. Do an album and then a tour. I mean, It doesn't have to be anything big. Do what Sabbath did. Make an album, do a big tour, and then you're done.
I would say I would be fine with them not even making an album, because I think if they were to make an album, they wouldn't make it through the. They would not.
This is true, but
they wouldn't make it through the recording process.
This is very true, but I think it just in a
perfect world,
a type of situation, yeah.
Because Roger Waters, he does some crazy things. You may not like him personally, but he was the driving force of that band for 15 years, or more than 15 years. But and he was the main force behind all their great albums and most of their great songs. So I would love to see them reunite with Roger. It's never going to happen because Roger Waters and David Gilmour do not like each other, and David Gilmour has tried as best he can to wipe Roger Waters' memory away from Pink Floyd fans.
Right. He's going to have a hard time doing that, though, I think.
He's tried. Yeah. Roger Waters isn't allowed to use the Pink Floyd social media accounts or none of that stuff. They've tried to push him as far away as
they possibly can.
Yeah.
So my first up would be, and it's kind of happened here and there, but I would like to see a full reunion with the original Alice Cooper band, an album and a tour of just that group.
Yeah.
Because Alice has done some stuff with them on the last 3 of his albums. There's been at least one song with them as a group, written by them, performed by them. And they performed live at their Hall of Fame induction in 2011, I think it was. And they were, they're all still great friends. I don't really know why they don't, but I think it'd be fantastic to get a original Alice Cooper band album and tour. I think that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, I'd definitely love to see it. Ian's a huge Alice Cooper fan. I'm definitely more of an Alice Cooper band fan. It was the band period of his career is definitely my favorite of their music. So definitely along the same lines, I would love to see them do a full album. And I think it'd be really cool to see him in concert too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Another band that I'm sure a lot of people out there would love to see reunite is Led Zeppelin. Even though I know Page and Plant have done things over the years together, they haven't done anything full scale. No,
they just did the live album. It was kind of an unplugged, and then they did Walking into Clarksdale. It's a good album, but it definitely lacks that Led Zeppelin,
and
vibe.
At their age, there probably wouldn't be. It wouldn't be on a Led Zeppelin 2 or Led Zeppelin 4 of scale. No. But I would love to see them get together. Probably, like you mentioned a couple minutes ago before we started recording, have John Bonham's son
Jason,
play with the band. I think that'd be really cool to see them kind of reunite and do something.
Yeah, at this point, the only thing I mean, there's always that possibility, but I think Page's or Robert Plant's voice is just, it's not Led Zeppelin anymore.
No,
it's
no,
Robert
definitely.
Plant, and that's the only downfall to seeing it actually happen, I think, and he just doesn't want to.
Yeah.
Because they were offered
A
lot of money to do it, and he said no.
Yeah,
so.
they turned it down.
So for my next one, I would love to see REM get back together. They didn't split up necessarily, but they retired.
Yeah.
And I think that was more probably Michael Stipe wanting to retire and then just them not going on as a band. But I don't know. The time might be right. I think it would be fascinating to see what they could put together now as elder statesmen of music, of popular rock music.
Yeah.
And that I'd love to see it. Plus, I never got a chance to see them live, and this might be an opportunity. Would be an opportunity to see them live.
Yeah, it'd be a huge tour.
It would be.
Do you know when the last time they toured was?
It's
been a long time.
It's been a long time.
It's been a long time.
I don't even think they did a huge world tour before they retired. I think it was a much kind of a toned down tour.
You mean they didn't do the Kiss thing where you do like 7 different? This is our final tour.
Right. Well, Motley Crue is doing the same thing. They did their final tour. They even filmed their last show, and now they're back on the road again. Like 6 years later.
Ozzy, what year did he do his No More Tours tour?
91. Yeah, but he's supposed, if as long as his health holds out and he gets his surgery, he'll be going on basically just the second half of that.
Yeah,
because it's called No More Tours 2. So it'll just be the second half.
Yeah,
of the farewell tour.
A band that probably not everyone would have on their list. For me, and I could have went a bunch of different directions with this last one. For me, I got the Police, and they're a band that I think had a really great but really short career. Mm-hmm. But they're a band that I'd love to see them get back together. Of course, they could do Police stuff. They could do Sting stuff. They could do a lot of different.
Just do new stuff.
Yeah,
I'm not one of those people who think that a band is only good for their first 5 years and then there's nothing. I think artists have a lot to offer later in their careers, and it just might be different.
Depending on how they evolve. Yeah,
it just might be different than what you're used to. So I think it'd be interesting to see what they would.
Especially seeing how well the Police Greatest Hits that just got reissued on vinyl, seeing how well that sold, especially with it being like $50. I think there's definitely a market out there for the Police to get back together.
And I think that'd be another tour that would probably be a big seller.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would go that far because I was never a huge Police fan, but I would buy the album.
Yeah.
If they put out a new album, I'd be there to buy that. So for my last one, this band never really made a formal announcement of breaking up. They just haven't performed together and they
just went on like indefinite hiatus.
Yeah, I mean the lead singer and primary songwriter, he does his own thing, solo stuff, but he hasn't released any new albums, and obviously the band hasn't. It's Rusted Root. If you're around in the 90s, you were probably familiar with a couple of their songs. They were big for a little while, but they haven't released a new album since 2012.
Yeah,
and I don't even think they've toured as Rusted Root since then, or at least in many of the years since then. And I'd love to see them get back together and put out some new material. They've matured. It's one of those bands where you kind of have them in this era of their time frame, and you don't really know what they're like anymore. And I love to hear what evolutions could have come from their new experiences. And
they're a band that I think is definitely underrated.
Yeah.
They flew really under the radar in the late 90s, early 2000s, but they did some really great music.
Yeah. Yeah, they're if you never listen to Rusted Root, you need to check them out. They're great live too. I saw them live and they were fantastic.
Yeah.
So it'd be awesome to see them come together again and maybe do not a big tour, because even when I saw them in '99, it wasn't a huge tour.
Yeah.
But something small. Kind of do the small theaters.
Yeah, medium-sized venues.
Yeah, small theaters, and I think it'd be fantastic. At the
probably
very
sell
least,
really well too.
I would think so. And I think even a new album. 2012 is a long time ago. It's 10 years. It's time to get some new material out there.
Yeah. Well, that's all we got for you today, guys. Thanks for checking the show out. Drop us a comment down below. Let us know what some of your favorite bands that you'd love to see reunite would be. Because like I said, there's a bunch of different... I thought about talking about Blink-182 also, because it'd be cool to see like that early lineup reunite. But there's a bunch of great bands out there. But let us know what you guys think. If you enjoyed the episode, make sure you give us the old thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button down below. That's all we got. Until next time,
Talk to y'all later.
keep on spinning. Peace.